Alrighty, want to jump into a couple trades that I'm looking at making today. And let's look at the first one here. So we're going to look at a couple bullish trades. First one in Google. Really wanted to get into this thing yesterday. It was it's in a squeeze. Just started firing yesterday. Officially fired today in a squeeze. Like Google, looking at it here, 50% retracements up here about 117. I think we can hit the 125 area here on the 618 retracement of this top to bottom April to October drop in it as we move up. So bullish on Google here. Everything on the daily looks good. MACD rising, squeeze firing, stochastic momentum running higher. Did it fire most of its powder already? Is there a little bit to go? We're going to take a chance that there's a little bit to go, but we're going to do a low risk, high reward trade on Google. Also going to take a look at BABA here. Really looking the China reopening trade here. Taking a look at the weekly chart on BABA. You can see we've just been bouncing inside of this tight range. Every time we get into this demand zone down here, we move higher, we move higher. We did break it here a bit, but then moved higher, bounce, moved higher. We're back in it again. Every time we hit this supply zone, we drop on it. So we're back in the demand zone down here again. I think when you take a look at where things are, MACD starting to change a bit. We do have earnings coming up in a couple of days. I'm not too worried about that. It's going to be a low risk, high reward trade on BABA. And taking a look at the daily here, you've got MACD have reversed way back here, finally breaking positive here with an RSI moving higher above 50. So that's all positive. You had the TTM squeeze reversal here, moving higher. And then we've also got the stochastic momentum really heading higher and higher. So like BABA, like what it's doing here, I think it can run up a bit more on BABA. I'm also going, Amazon was one I was really wanting to get into, but I really think we may have missed the boat on Amazon. Can it go higher? Yes, it really hasn't even hit the squeeze firing yet. So I think we can go higher. I'm already in there with the synthetic stock position, so we're already making good money on Amazon. So I'm going to stick away from it, but I would be bullish on Amazon here. I'm going to take a quick look at something that's not, super exciting looking chart, but I really think this whole sell-off in Schwab is way overdone with this banking stuff. You've got this tight squeeze, or I shouldn't say tight, but you've got this big squeeze play here for the last several weeks. I think that's getting long in the tooth. I think you're oversold on the weekly. MACD's already starting to change its momentum on the weekly. And if we take a look at the daily, we've been in this squeeze for a little while now. It's just been hanging around this area. It's dropping a bit more today, which makes me like it even more. I think this is a great put opportunity. So I would be selling naked puts. We did enter a trade on Schwab yesterday. We did sell some leap puts. If we go any lower here or stay below 47 at all, I will be adding to those leap puts here. I'm happy to own this thing in the 30s, 35 or so. So really like Schwab, I am bearish on a couple stocks here. For starters, it's McDonald's. It's been a great run for McDonald's, doing really well. It's a good company overall. This is just a trade, not an investment. And I think you've got some selling going on this week. There, MACD starting to turn over here. Squeeze has been firing a little bit here, getting long. This stochastic momentum is just way up here and oversold, starting to tip over on the weekly. So I think you got some potential weakness as we hit this 300. 300 could be the magnet, though, that pulls it up. We'll see. But on the daily here, you've really had just the momentum just eeping out of this thing for a couple weeks now. But the stock's been moving higher despite the momentum coming out, but stochastic momentum falling. I think this was the better time to get in than here, but today we have a PSAR reversal signal. I want to get short with a, again, low risk, high reward trade on McDonald's. And then the last one here is Pepsi, pretty much ditto to the McDonald's move. It's broken out of this range, got a little extended in my opinion here. I could put Bollinger Bands on this and get a real sense of extensions. It's overbought. MACD and squeeze on the weekly, still strong, but on the daily, I think you're starting to see some cracks, some tipping over. I think we can pull back here to the 21 EMA and which are about 190. So that's the play that I'm looking for. So as we take a look, let's look at the potential trades that I've got on. In fact, we've already got these working today. So in Google, here's the trade that we put on just a little bit earlier in Google. What I wanted to get done on Google here was I wanted to get into a butterfly trade on Google. So let's see if we can get this squared away. So I want to get into a butterfly trade on Google. We're going to center this thing about 121 on Google. I'm going to go out 15 days on all of these trades. So again, short-term 2-week trades, centering about 121 on this move. I just want this thing to move higher into this tent, and we'll look to take some profit off of this as we go. So there's the overall trade on Google. If we look at this thing here, again, I went close to the expected move, which we're looking at about a 5-point range on the expected move out 2 weeks. So I'm going to sell the 121s, buy the wings about 4 points wide on that. So that's what we're looking for on the trade on Google. On BABA, here's the trade that we're looking at on BABA as well. Same basic setup on BABA. If you look at the chart here, and again, we do have earnings coming up, so it's a little higher risk trade. Earnings are on May 18th. I'm going out to May 26th on this trade, but I am going to go again right about the expected move. I'm going to put these wings out here at about 5 wide. We're spending $168 to make $832. So good risk reward. If it fails, I'm out $168. If we move into this tent, then maybe we can double that money. I'm not necessarily looking for the 832. I would be looking at potentially a double of this, trying to make full $300 out of the BABA trade. Pepsi, we just got filled on that one here as well. So let's take a quick look at the Pepsi trade. Similar trade, except we're moving in reverse on this Pepsi trade. So Pepsi currently at a 193 up in here, and I'm looking for Pepsi to move down about a standard deviation move to about the 190 range. Not expensive, spending $240 to make $760, but really I'm going to look for $500 and take out a double on this thing. So I'm going to put it all at risk. I'll either lose 240 or I'll make about 500 or more. We'll see what happens if we move down into that range. And then the last one here, which has not been filled here, is our McDonald's trade. Trying to get that trade on right now. Nothing going yet, but here's the trade that I'm looking at on McDonald's. In fact, if I look at the working order on McDonald's, I've got the 285, 290 working in here. So I'm looking at a 5 wide spread here on this fly. So again, 15 days out, looking at this trade on McDonald's, and we're at 294. I'm just looking for a drop to about the 290 range. Again, we're going to risk, I'll probably double it up, but I'll probably risk $166. You could make 834 in the trap. It's not what I'm necessarily banking on. I'm just thinking that we drop into this range somewhere here, and I'm looking to pull a double out of that. All right, so there's a couple trade ideas for you. We're going to get these trades on. We'll post them to the members in the Income Navigator service, and we'll talk to everybody later. So hopefully you got some good stuff out of this, some trade ideas for the day. We'll see how it goes. Happy trading.